Good morning. Welcome to Saturday Morning Comic Talk. This is a show where I talk with top indie creators about whatever the heck I thought up in the middle of the week. So today we have actually new faces here. Dash is an old face. He's here on this show. He's here with me when we do our music show. But two new people. So let's start with introductions. So Peter, tell us a little bit about yourself. I don't know if you heard. All right, so we'll pause for a second. So Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Hey, my name is Dan Price. I am the creator of the indie comic Bigfoot Knows Karate and the vice president of marketing and partner in Homebrewed Comics, publishing company that we started up last year. Yeah, it's me in a nutshell. I can go further, but yeah.
Yeah. Bigfoot Knows Karate. I'm pretty sure I've backed one of those because, I mean, the concept is brilliant. We'll talk about that when we hit campaign talk. I mean,
thank you.
It's just, oh, man, you hear the title and you're like, I have to read this. I need to know more because we assume he knows karate, but now we can find the truth. So
we know
I love it.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, he's a karate guy.
Nice. All right, so Peter, can you hear? All right. Still nothing. And then we have one more guest who might be showing up. I don't know. It happens every week. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't. But we have a full house one way or the other.
He can only hear one person.
Oh, he can only hear one person. So, yeah. And in the early part, so we'll get
try to log back in. I can't. I don't know why it's not working.
Sounds good. All right. So we'll hold off on the topic, but our first topic, I'm going to clarify so we know what we're talking about. We're talking about the worst death. It doesn't have to mean the goriest, but it can, but just the one that crushed your soul when it happened. So you're watching a TV show, you're watching a movie, and someone dies and you are just broken inside. So we're talking about a death like that, or one that just scarred you for a few days, if it's a horror movie kind of one, because I could give either one. I have horror movies that just left me feeling like my soul needed a shower, and then I have those ones where it's just like, how could they? Why would they? And so either kind. And so either one is perfectly good. So Dash, what's your death that just broke you?
I mean, like we talked about earlier, like I could hit like the ETs or go back to all the dog move, Old Yeller and things like that. But one, and people will probably give me crap about, is Armageddon and Harry Stamper. But that conversation between him and Liv Morgan, we're deployed at the time watching this movie. Okay, we're all just like we're sitting and we finally got a chance to watch this movie while we're deployed. So you can just see a bunch of military guys sitting around in a tent watching this movie, and that scene comes on, and I kid you, there was not a dry eye in the room when the conversation between Liv and Bruce Willis was going on. So
okay,
Harry Stamper, Armageddon, that one just tore my soul. And because I mean, I was a dad already, and and now I got two other little ones, so I don't know if I could ever handle something like that again. But yeah, that was one of my all-time.
I don't know. I think I've seen that movie once, and I guess I have no heart because I don't remember that scene breaking me up. But that I don't remember it, honestly. That movie just kind of phased out of my memory. It was all right. Michael Bay, blow stuff up, tug at heartstrings, play Aerosmith song, do all that. But I don't know. I think if I rewatched it, it might hit me differently. But it's one of those I've probably watched it once on HBO and was probably like half watching it, not giving it. If you're in the theater, or like you, when you get to watch a movie and you're deployed, you're going to give it your full attention. Plus, that's kind of predates where everybody would just be goofing around on their cell phones or anything like that. So, yeah, I guess I don't know. I guess I need to rewatch it. So that one sounds good. So, Peter, can you hear now?
Yes. I could only hear one person. I was like, what is happening to sound? Something about the intro when it came in, it just ruined everything.
Okay.
Of course, it worked before, so.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we can start. Introduce yourself and then tell us what's a movie death that just destroyed you.
Oh, movie death. Okay.
Or TV, any kind of media. Like you know what? Even a book doesn't matter. What's a death that you that just broke your heart?
You know, it sounds a little lame, but back in like the 90s, 90210, when Scott like was playing with a gun and it like killed.
Oh, that was the
spinning
first
it,
season.
and I was upset because like I'm a nerd, and Scott was representing nerds on the 90210 show, and they had to do them like nerds are supposed to be smart, and like you're like. No nerd would do that. We play games with guns. We know, like I have a friend who knows like every piece in Borderlands and what it does, and like, so I was just more kind of like, this is bad. Like this is like an assault on nerds. So now 210 Scott twirling the gun like a cowboy was like, no. I think they just wanted Brian Austin Green's character to, rise into the popular kids, and they just left Scott high and dry. So
man, see, and I didn't see that one either. But yeah, come on, the nerds know better.
Nerds know better. We're smart,
We know to keep the safety on and not to play cowboy. But yeah, that's rough. All right. So what about you, Dan? What's a death that just tore you up?
When in The Sopranos, when Tony killed Christopher, and when Silvio killed Adriana. Both of those two scenes were both insane to me. When I couldn't believe that Tony would have done that. I could completely believe that Silvio was going to kill Adriana, given the situation, but that he killed Christopher just destroyed me.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah. I love The Sopranos, so it's that was get you in the gut right there.
Yeah, so I agree. Both of those ones. And then we have one of our commenters saying Han Solo killed by Ben Solo. It's like, yeah, I would agree that stung. I mean, people can say what they will about the 7, 8, and 9, but yeah, you don't want to see Han Solo going down. Even though Harrison Ford didn't want to be a part.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Series.
He probably welcomed that death at the knowing. Shocking though. I didn't see. I figured maybe the next episode, or what was it, 8? I figured 8 for sure, but I didn't see it in 7 so quick. But
yeah, but that was a shocking one when people still had good faith in the I guess the 7, 8, and 9 sequels. Everything fell apart from there, but I know Harrison Ford probably put it in his contract, like make sure I die in this movie.
I think he really wanted to die.
I think he wanted to die in Jedi.
Yeah, he wanted to die in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It's like, oh, he's free from the carbonite. Damn it, he's dead, and that would have been Harrison Ford's perfect ending, or die in the escape, I guess. So for me,
kids.
Yeah.
Carbonite was really good.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with an animal death, and that is Artax, the horse, in Neverending Story.
Wow,
Fuck that scene. It destroys you. It's like, damn, that horse is so pure. He's such a good boy. It's like, come on, Artax.
So real quick, last night I'm with friends, okay, and I pull out the questions for today's show, and I asked them that question, and 2 out of the 3 of them said Artax.
Yeah,
they were like that. That movie, it crushed you. It crushed you. It was our generation. It crushed you. I'm like, I never liked the movie.
Yeah,
and so it didn't do it for me.
Okay,
but real quick, but years ago, I was doing a comic convention in Houston called Comicpalooza, and they had Atreyu there. Okay, and this is like 2012, 11, 10, somewhere around there, and they had and me and my artist on the project I was working on at the time. He goes, we were with like Peter Mayhew's daughter and a bunch of other folks, and she knew Atreyu, and she's like, come over. And so he came over, and my buddy Bond was kind of a jerk. Actually, he was a very big jerk. He was one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life, and I miss him. He died a few years ago, miss him every day. And but he looked at me, he goes, hey, Atreyu, how you feel about that horse? And just starts giving him a hard time about the horse. Anyway, so sorry to blurt in.
He's
but
a
yeah,
rock
Oh no, that's funny.
Oh yeah.
He's a rock star now, isn't he? The guy that plays Atreyu. I think
Is
There's
he?
a band called Atreyu. I don't
Yeah,
know if
there's a
he's a
band
rock
called-
star. Yeah, so there's the Atreyu band.
Casey?
My brother got really into them, and I said, "Do you know that comes from Neverending Story?" He's like, "What? No." It's like he didn't realize that the whole band name came from that. But so many bands. I mean, Fallout Boy coming from The Simpsons. It's like they're just giving their little references to older movies or TV shows, and those
Yeah,
who know they know. And then
you know, was from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Veruca Salt from Charlie and the Chocolate
Charlie
Factory.
Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
See, I'm right there with you, Dan. I think the movie was not great, but that scene still is.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of those movies
Devastating.
I've seen. I haven't seen recently. I watched it when I was a kid at the drive-in with my dad, and it's got nostalgia glasses for sure. But I just remember even as a kid, what's going on? And now I'll watch clips of just that scene, and it starts breaking me up again. Like, that horse, he's so good. I mean, I guess I was talking backstage before we started. I was saying animal deaths hit me harder. Like, I think about Old Yeller. I'm like, he's such a good boy. Why did that dog have to die and get rabies? So yeah, the dogs hit me more than the humans. So I guess I'm more heartless, or I just love the animals. So I think about those ones. But yeah, all the ones you said are good, especially those Soprano ones. I forgot. I'm like, damn, he killed Christopher. That was rough. I haven't watched it for so long. I forgot about it. And like, ooh, it's bringing it all back.
Yeah. Well, I think animals are innocent, right? So there's a little bit of there's like an injustice. Like there's no situation where you're in this, you know, it's like a video game animals coming for you. Most of the time you feel for them because they didn't ask for that. They were just in a bad situation. Whereas humans, you're like, we all deserve it in some level.
Yeah, they kind of suck a little bit. If it was Atreyu sinking in the swamp and the horse trying to pull him out, I wouldn't have felt it as much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Old Yeller's the best dog in the doggone West.
Yeah, we
This
talked
one
about
right
where
here
the
where the red fern grows.
Yeah, that any dogs. I mean, you see a dog as the main character in a movie, you're like, fuck, they're gonna kill that damn dog, and it's gonna ruin me. And damn them. Like, can just the owner die once, and I'm all cool, and the dog's like whimpering over him? I'll be sad, but not the same way of sad. So
I think that's why like John Wick is so popular because people relate.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you killed my dog, you're going down.
Yeah.
So yes. All right, Marley and Me. Yes. Just
Marley and
name
Me,
all the dog movies because they always gut you. Those stupid dog movies. So
you don't see a lot of cat movies like that, you know. I mean, like, oh shit, my cat's dying. Go get another one, you know. I mean, like, and yeah, you don't see that.
Because cats are kind of jerks. So you're
I have one. I love him, but he's a jackass.
The cat was kind of a dick. We can let him go.
Yeah.
There's no bonding. You don't see like the bonding through like the long walk bonding with your cat kind of scene,
right?
That you can do in every dog movie.
Has there ever really
John
been
Wayne's cat drank beer on film? Okay, so
really?
Yeah, there you go.
Has there ever really been a cat movie though that hits it like we're talking about?
I don't know. There's 8
That's
million
been, like,
dog
Yeller.
movies.
Yeah, there's tons of dogs.
Yeah, no.
Maybe Mufasa. Maybe Mufasa's about
so they're in the cat family.
Yeah.
Mufasa's death is definitely up there. Yeah, so it's like feline related, but not just jerky cats. Like you don't see like if the cat's in a movie, it's with some weird cat lady, and they're not. You don't see the great bond between them.
Gremlins.
Yeah. You know, there was that Disney classic with the cat from outer space.
Oh,
don't forget that classic.
That's about the. I do remember. I was talking about that the other day. It had old Ken. Was the Ken Berry was in it from Mama's Family and all that.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Littlefoot's mom and The Land Before Time. You got to go with, I guess, Bambi's mom. Then, like, go back to the early childhood crushing of your heart. So there's that one too.
If we're gonna bring up dinosaurs, my daughter, one of my youngest daughter, we were she cannot sit through the second Jurassic World where they go back and try to rescue, and they're running off the island.
The Brachiosauruses.
Yeah, that makes her cry every time. So I empathize with her because she's an animal lover as it is, but even fake dinosaurs she breaks up. But that's good. That shows her empathy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so we've started the show off on a sour note. Like everybody's recalling the tragic deaths of their childhood movies, and like everyone in the comments is like, "Thanks a lot for giving me the
Yeah,
feels
we're
today."
all
'Cause
traumatized.
now we're all gonna weep when we finish the show. But we'll try to bring it up. So if you have a worst death, drop it in the comments. We'll bring it up as we're moving through. But now we're gonna go into the next category. This should be a little less depressing, and that is what's a terrible movie you love? And that actually came up because of this week's music show. So I'm saving my pick because I've already kind of put it out there. But yeah, what is a terrible movie? You know it's bad, but you love it anyway. So we'll start with you this time, Dan. What's a terrible movie you love?
Sure. Well, I don't think they're terrible. Okay, let's just be honest. I mean, like initially I was going to put Flash Gordon in this category because I love that movie, but I do not think it's terrible enough to be considered a terrible movie. It's phenomenal, but I guess somebody would call it terrible. Another one for me, Condor Man. If you've ever seen Condor
I
Man,
haven't seen that one.
no. Oh, Disney movie, 78, 80, somewhere around there, 81. Yeah. And it was about a comic book artist who had a character named Condor Man, and he would only do in the comic what he could do in real life. So he had these big wings, and he flew off the Eiffel Tower and all this shit. And so, part of my language, sorry.
No, you're good.
So, well, hell yeah. So anyway, he and then he gets his buddies in the CIA, and he says, "Hey, I need you to go drop off these papers." Da 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 da. Turns into this whole thing. The CIA recruits him in, and he draws this comic book and saying how he's going to help out this mission. And he goes and does it. And it's like it's secret agent stuff, and it's and he's got wings, and he's dope, and it's Condor Man, and it's amazing. And if you've never seen it, it's on Amazon. Go get it.
Okay,
it's incredible.
It sounds fun. And then we had someone say Time Bandits, and I guess I'm with you. If you love it, you don't think of it as a terrible movie. Like I grew up with watching Time Bandits over and over again on HBO, and I love that shit. It's garbage. Don't get me wrong. A lot of them, I guess they're garbage when you try to revisit them as an adult. And you're like, what the hell did I like about this? It's terrible. I couldn't get through The Dark Crystal when I tried to rewatch it. And I was all excited. I got the DVD. I'm like, yes, telling my wife this is going to be good. And then like 10 minutes in, I couldn't continue it. But as a kid, I thought that was the greatest thing. Like, ooh, it's Dark Muppets. This is the shit.
Yeah.
It just didn't age well for me. And I guess that would be true of Labyrinth as well. Both of them I try to rewatch, and they don't hit the same. And that's, even nostalgia glasses can't get past the weakness of the film. And if you love them, those two movies still good for you, because I mean, I wish I could. I want to love them as much as I did when I was a child.
I do love all old 70s 80s live action Disney though, like Apple.
Yeah, that was fun stuff.
He already said Cat from Outer Space, just the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. All those old Disney live action movies are fantastic.
Oh yeah. So Peter, what's a bad movie you love?
I watch a lot of like indie 90s 2000 movies, and there's just one that I love it, but I'm like it's shot really bad, like there's very little dialogue, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I just love it. It's the Leningrad Cowboys Do America.
I've heard
and this movie is about a band from I think it's like Russia, and they're coming to America to make it big, and they have these like curly Q shoes, and their hair is also curly cued, and they just eat onions like they're apples, and it's just a really bizarre movie that's like it's filmed. It's even dated for its time in the 90s. It seems like it's filmed in like the 70s, like the camera work and the lighting and everything's just real bad about it. But I just love this movie, and I put it on for people every now and then. They're just like, what the hell is going on? And you're just like, that's the beauty of it, is that you're like, what were they thinking? But I just love it.
Oh yeah,
it's good. I've heard of that movie.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I've never watched it, but it's one of those ones. Yeah, people are either gonna see it, love it, or go, "What the hell are you watching?" and tune it out, and go on their cell phone and ignore what's happening. And then we had someone said Flight of the Navigator and The Last Starfighter.
Oh, I love The Last
I would agree. I would agree on both those. As with nostalgia glasses, they're great, but trying to rewatch, I've tried to rewatch both of them. they don't
Oh.
age beautifully, but
Yeah.
I love them for
Yeah.
what they are.
I have a monthly watch of The Last Starfighter.
Oh, wow.
I love The Last Starfighter. Still one of my favorites.
What about Tron? Do y'all consider that a bad movie? Because I think it's gold.
Oh,
I can't watch the first Tron, so yeah, I'm definitely in the bad movie category
Okay.
for that one.
I
But
do
I
love
know
it.
people who love it, so it's when I
Sure.
was a kid, I didn't like it, so there were no nostalgia glasses. I watched it and thought this looks really ugly, and I don't like how it looks, and that
Okay.
was the end of that. I think the CG was just too jarring. I was expecting something like Star Wars, just beautiful and crisp, and then I got these weird gray characters, and it didn't call me when I was a kid. So now as an adult, forget it. My daughter was trying to rewatch all the Tron movies before Tron Ares because she's a Nine Inch Nails fan and wanted to go for the Nine Inch Nails. So I thought I'll get versed in this universe, and came in, watched about 15 minutes of me. Yep, still don't like it, and I left because that was my argument when we were talking about Tron when everything was coming out. I said my argument is there's never been a good Tron movie, and people just keep plugging in, making new ones, and then putting Jared Leto in them. But
Yeah, I didn't see the new one, but I did like the first two.
I like the original Tron too. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
yeah, I know Dash
It's
fights
great.
me on that one, and that's okay because, like I said, if I had nostalgia for it, it would be a different story. And my bad movies, you're gonna think they're bad, and yeah, Blair Witch Project. I don't know. I would argue that it's a good movie. But
I would
that's-
argue that it's a good movie. I would.
That's a
argue
good movie. I mean, it's put found footage on the map.
It really did. It kind of
Yeah.
it rewrote what a horror movie was going to look like for a long stretch of years.
Mhm.
Even though found footage, they weren't the ones that created it. I think that goes back to like Cannibal Holocaust, something
Okay.
like that. I know that there were other found footage movies, but it made them popular. It didn't. I don't know. I think it was groundbreaking, and also how they advertised it, the way that they used the internet to create a viral campaign. So I don't know. I guess inherently it's not a great movie, but I think it's so influential. It's hard for me
There
to
you
call
go.
it a
That's a good
bad
way to put
movie.
it.
Toy Soldiers, that's garbage, and yeah, I would agree. That's a bad movie that you could like it, but it's rough. That's one of those early DreamWorks ones, and not amazing. So I'm with you on that one, Jason. And then, yeah, Blair Witch, yeah, it's unique in its time, and I just think the advertising was brilliant, putting out those documentaries like this is all real, using the Sci-Fi Network and the internet. So yeah, I'm going to argue for Blair Witch not being terrible, but it is very, we saw it in the theater, and there's people that were just getting nauseous from it. So
Yeah.
it is very shaky cam. So I can understand why you would think it's terrible if it was affecting you that way. And yeah, generally not a lot happens. It's just, the dread. But I don't know. I guess we're here fighting for Blair Witch, and we could fight for any one of these because it depends on where you come at them from. So,
Yeah, sure.
All right, Dash, what's your pick for a bad movie that you love?
I got 3.
Okay.
There's two from the 80s. One is called Megaforce. I don't know. Listen, you got to like the cheesiness of it. It's so bad, but it's so good. I even got like action figure here.
Oh, he's got his collectible of Megaforce even.
Eagle Force. I don't know if you can zoom in.
Hey, that guy with the headband.
Yeah,
Barry
you have
Bostwick, right?
Barry
That's
Bostwick. So Barry Bostwick was in it, and this was right around the GI Joe time frame that they were bringing
Mhm.
GI Joe back, and so it was just really good. They have fantastic, futuristic cars and vehicles. So I love that one. I posted on my page the other day, The Last American Virgin. So bad, but it was like one of the original teen movies, early 80, like 81, I believe. So we're getting those
The
teen
raunchy
movies.
teen comedy era.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Porky's
so
and all that.
I love The Last American Virgin. Just a great movie. And then I probably really am going to get chewed up on this. The Cowboy Way in the 90s with Kiefer Sutherland and
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. It is bad, but I still quote. There's so many good quotables out of that that it has to be a good movie for me to quote it. So
Yeah.
man, such a yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Dash.
Dude, where's
No,
my
but
car?
tell me-
That's a rough one.
Let me ask you a question, Dash. Megaforce,
Uh-huh.
the Cybertruck. Do you not see the connection? Do you not see
Oh,
Yes.
the between the
Yes.
trucks in that
Yes.
movie and the Cybertruck today?
I,
First thing,
I've asked if Elon was a fan. I really,
He must.
right.
He must have been.
First time I saw one, I'm like, dude, Megaforce. I mean, that was the first thing I said. So anyway, yeah.
no, yeah, it is unmistakable. I just put it that way. It's very unmistakable that.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's so many you can pick from because I watch so many bad movies on HBO late at night, like Sorority Babes at the Slime Bowl-orama and stuff along those lines. But I'm gonna go with the early Peter Jackson flicks. They are all terrible, but I love them. So we're talking Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, and Dead Alive. They are just
Any of them.
they are insanely bad, but so good. Meet the Feebles is like a Dark Muppets movie where they're all like drugged out and crazy. And Bad Taste is an alien movie. And if you watch the behind the scenes footage, you can see that he's making the masks in his mom's oven. And she's like, I need you to get those masks out of the oven. We need to cook dinner. And like everything was made. You can see that the guy had insane amounts of talent, but these first movies are just bonkers. And Dead Alive is just buckets and buckets of gore. I mean, it ends with the main character taking out a horde of zombies with a lawnmower. And I watched that movie so many times because I got a bunch of my friends to get obsessed with the movie too. So we would just watch it and watch it and watch it. And then sometimes we'd bring someone over and they're like, wait, this thing's really gross and not good. And like, shut up, get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome in this house any longer. If you can't recognize the greatness of Dead Alive, we don't need to speak with you anymore. So yes, I love that one. So Killer Clowns from Outer Space for sure, with Jason saying that one. And then Greasy Strangler. Casey's coming out with that one. And I have not seen Greasy
I've heard of that one,
Strangler.
bud.
It sounds like something I would have put on HBO back in the day because it was just like, am I going to see nudity? Am I going to see blood? If the answer is possibly yes to either one, I'll watch this movie for the just in case. And that's where I discovered Evil Dead. And I'm not going to lump that one because I think that damn movie's amazing. And another one is where it's like doing so much with so little. And then in his case, torturing his poor actors. But yeah. Evil, you got so many. All right, so what do we have? Oh, so he says we have to see the Greasy Strangler and then Rowdy Piper. They Live. Oh my gosh.
I would make an argument that's one of the best movies of
I
the
love
80s.
it, but I think when I was watching it with April, she hadn't seen it before, and it's got a scene that's just a pure wrestling match where Roddy Piper's just like, they're just going at it for a good 10 minutes. I'm like, they just did a full match in the middle of the movie, and I'm here for that. I need more of it. So yeah, worst nudity.
Worst. Casey will bring out the oddest stuff. He's my co-writer on Bigfoot Knows Karate. Okay. Yeah, and he'll bring out some amazing weird takes, some odd takes on things.
Though.
Oh yeah. Well, he introduced me to an album. I'm a big blues fan, and he introduced me to an album called The Black Gladiator by Bo Diddley.
Okay.
And that's an album that changed my life. So I mean, if Casey gives a recommendation, I'll usually check it out. So
yeah, so we gotta go hunt that down from Casey, and then yeah, so awful but amazing when you're talking about. I'm assuming he's back with what he chose, and then we have the Saw series. So I think they started well. It kind of they kind of fell off the rails, but I can enjoy them for what they are. Garbage trash movies. All right, so John Waters did a murder mystery. Okay, and then yes, They Live. It's I don't know. It's awful, but like you said, awful but amazing. That sums it up perfectly. I
that's
love
John
They
Carpenter
Live.
at his best, man.
Yeah, that's
The Thing and They Live is John Carpenter.
although The Thing, I don't think anyone would argue The Thing is a bad movie. That's just brilliance.
That's a brilliant movie.
It didn't get its due when it was released, and then they made a god awful sequel to it. And ignore that, they went away from practical effects and into CGI. So
Yeah, it ruined it.
That'll tell you what you're going to be.
That was
watching.
a prequel. That was the prequel.
That's right. Yeah.
How are
you're
you
right.
gonna do? Yeah, just go back to practical effects, people.
Yeah, but They Live. I would love to see. I mean, I would love to see They Live revisited somehow because it was so good, and the premise is just brilliant.
Yes.
I mean, I guess you could say Big Trouble in Little China, but I think that's an outstanding movie too. It's
Yeah,
one of
I
my
love that
yeah,
favorite-
another
too.
good one. Yeah,
I think he's Here's a question for y'all. Any of y'all Godfather fans? Because it's one of my
Oh,
very
yeah.
favorite movies. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you feel about Godfather 3? I like
Ooh.
it. Others don't. And
like it.
see,
Well, no, the
You
only
liked
people,
it?
only
Okay.
it's. I like the trilogy. It is the
Yeah.
weakest of the trilogy,
Yeah.
but too
Sure.
many people are just hating on it because of Sofia Coppola. That's what they hang on to is the Sofia
Right.
Coppola.
The
she
Nepo
gets
baby
Hayden
who can't act.
Christensen, you know? She gets Hayden Christensen, you
Yeah,
know,
except
like
for
the movie's bad.
she didn't get this resurgence of popularity because all of a sudden
No.
Well,
Hayden
she went back
Christensen's
into-
going for $300 an autograph because all the people that were younger and watched it and didn't care about bad acting, they
Right.
now love him and he's this massive icon again. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't think it's a horrible movie, like a lot of people want to say just because of that. It's the weakest of the three, but it fits
Flawed.
the three, and it's flawed, but it still fits the trilogy.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a redemption piece.
Yeah.
you know,
Crystal
I mean, is what it
Skull.
is.
Oh, I don't know if I'd call
That's
that
that.
trash.
doesn't exist.
So
that
bad
movie
it's
doesn't even
good.
exist.
Once you
Yeah.
bring in Shia LaBeouf, it's like, oof. Shia, you bring in Mutt. I don't know. It has some. I don't think any Indiana Jones movie is without some good scenes that are at least watchable. But yeah, that one, that's
The
the
worst.
crushing one. That's
Ray
like the
Winstone
Star
and
Wars
Kate
prequel
Blanchett
of
couldn't
Indiana
even save it.
Jones.
Yeah.
We saw the new one in the theater when it came out, and I walked
Yeah.
over to the theater with my wife, and I was like, "What did we just see there?" And she's like, "I have "No idea."
No idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was exact. I mean, almost exact words. I have no idea what I just watched.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now they're bringing in some time travel because why not? That's the Disney way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think all of those good picks. Some of them I need to watch. I gotta watch Casey's recommendation because I'm always
Greasy
I'm
Strangler.
always down for that. Like I fall down rabbit holes of bad movies. Like go through the
That's
whole
the best
Lucio
part.
Fulci library. New York Ripper. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but it's in that so bad it's good category. The killer, as he's killing people, quacks like a duck. I'm just watching it, baffled by what's happening, but it kind of checks my boxes of what I was looking for when I was young. Like, all right, there's blood. And if it's Lucio Fulci, there's going to be some eyeball shit because he loves to fuck with you. And like, oh, we're going to slice this eyeball. We're going to jam someone's head into a piece of wood through with an eyeball. He's a guy that makes good scenes, but never a good movie.
Right.
If you're going to be any kind of movie critic or just, you have to watch those movies. You literally
Yeah.
have to watch movies that will never be on your radar to
Yeah.
appreciate. And you find that there was one that, oh god, it was a horrible movie. It was Brooke Shields. It was a horror movie. Alice, Sweet Alice.
Mm.
And you would have this was Brooke Shields before she was old, or like she was a young adult or young teen. But it was a bad movie. But you have to watch it to be like, okay, now I understand horror.
Yeah. I watch so many. I'll fall down every rabbit hole of weird horror. Like Italian horror, I went down such a deep dive of Italian horror and watched every Lucio Fulci movie, and it's like he cannot storytell at all, but it's just like a zombie fights a shark, so how can you not love it?
Yeah.
It's just like, what the hell's even happening this movie? The zombie fights a shark, then some more bullshit happens, and then you see the eyeball scene and just like, I love it. It's brilliant. I have a zombie fighting a shark t-shirt because it's the greatest thing that I'll ever see in my life. And it's a horrible movie, but I love it. So I guess we
Zombie fighting a shark.
Yes, it's
I bet that's
brilliant.
probably still better than that Netflix thrash movie that just came out.
I don't know. It's better than most movies, zombie fighting a
What
shark.
What
Because
the
I
zombie
didn't
needed was
think
that.
the
Oh,
zombie
go ahead.
fighting the shark, the woman was topless. So like when I was a child, like, damn, that checks both boxes. This is maybe the greatest thing I'll ever see. and I'm going to retire. I will never watch another movie because nothing will be better than this.
I am a Sharknado fan. I am a
So
Sharknado fan.
Yeah, we were having that debate earlier. That was, I think we talked about that on Wednesday's
Wednesday
show.
night.
Yeah,
I
even
will-
though
I
we were
will-
supposed to be talking about a bad album, we kind of diverged into something else.
I will gladly watch
Oh.
Sharknado all day long. I love it.
Yeah.
It's cheese.
All these
It's
movies
cheese.
can be negated by just the bat repellent shark spray, the shark
yeah.
repellent bat spray. If you had that, all this would be, the whole genre
Except-
would be dead.
Does it work on zombie sharks? That's the question.
That's what I'm
That is-
wondering. Yeah.
I
he
think
needs
I think
that
Fulci
spray.
found a way past the zombie or the shark repellent bat spray. He's like, zombie
Right.
sharks, they're already dead. You can't use any kind of spray on them. So, all right, that was good. We definitely hit some all-timers on that one. But now we're going to talk about song that's now forever connected to a movie or a show. We're talking about those perfect needle drops where they put that scene in and now everyone will think about that song with that movie or TV show. I mean, you can, if you talk about Gimme Shelter, that's in too many movies. So you can't, it's associated with every movie where you don't even want to hear it on an album anymore, especially gangster films. Like, oh, if it doesn't have Gimme Shelter, it must not be
A zombie
It must not be
album.
Scorsese. Yeah.
it must not be
exactly.
Scorsese because Gimme Shelter
Right.
will be needle dropped somewhere on there. But we're talking about, and if you want to do a Scorsese needle drop of Casino or any of his movies and Gimme Shelter, that's fine. I mean, there are no actual rules to these things. But
Sure.
what's one where you think now, when you hear this song, you think of the movie, the imagery comes in your head of a movie. So what do you think? Peter, we'll let you go first this time. What's a movie now, a song forever connected to a movie?
Okay, so there's this song. I think it's by C.J. Brolin. It's "Sugar Is Sweeter," and it was in "I Still Know What You Did Last Summer," and
Oh,
that means a lot to me because they it was part of like the trailer. And at the time, I was doing craft service for like music videos and stuff, and I was doing this event.
Mhm.
Actually, as a PA in LA, like a college, where they were screening it before it came out, and my job was like escorting the celebrities from dressing rooms to whatever. And Ricky Rackman, who is like a DJ on K-Rock at the time, was there.
Yeah.
I just remember like I was half watching the movie, half working, and then right at the end when the credits were going, they just were blasting that song, and the sound system in there was made for bands, so it sounded really good. And it was like the kind of the intro of like walking Ricky Rackman down, and then he came on and there's huge applause. So every time I either hear that song or I see like a poster for it, it just like it's like brainwash. It's like in my head.
It's always there.
Yeah.
All right, so we had a few from the chat. Tiny Dancer from Almost Famous. Yeah, that song,
Good
that
one.
scene, them singing that in the bus. Don't You Forget About Me. I hear that song and I think of Frozen Fist. But
Yeah.
it was written for the movie, so I don't know if it's quite a needle drop, but it's definitely a song that will for always be connected with that. And then Time of My Life, Dirty Dancing, connected with the movie, but I think it was written for the movie as well.
movie, yeah.
So it's not quite a needle drop, but again, we have no rules. Name your songs. These are all good ones. And then Staying Alive, Eye of the Tiger, Let It Go. Again, not needle drops, but they always will live in those movies. Although Let It Go, that's one. My youngest daughter was so Frozen obsessed. It's like, oh man, that is the soundtrack of like 4 years of her life, or that's, I've seen that movie more times than I can count, and I know that song, and it still just kind of gives me a happy feeling when I think about her and her Elsa dresses and how she was going to be Elsa another Halloween because Elsa was in a short movie and there's a new Elsa dress. So yeah, that one works. So
I think I've seen Frozen one time.
yeah, you didn't have a 3-year-old.
Lucky you. Lucky
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Too old for it, so yeah.
I'm a stepdad, so there was one weekend where they showed me a bunch of Disney movies they watched when they were young, and I did that. And Frozen was one of them. And,
I think I went one whole week watching Frozen 47 times. So
sounds about right.
Yeah.
I lived that life. It came a point where you tuned it out, but you could still like any point talk along with what was happening in that movie. So yeah, Frozen definitely on that one. But yeah, it's any other ones. Let's see. Dash. Or wait, Dan, what was your pick for this one? A needle drop forever
Okay.
connected with the movie.
Okay, I've got a couple. One was written, I think, for the movie, and they used it
Mhm.
for another movie, but it was "You Got the Touch" by Transformers
Got the
movie. Yeah, you got it. They
Yes.
used that in that Marky Mark porn movie.
Oh, did they?
But yeah,
Yeah.
but
Nice.
it's Transformers for me.
Yeah, I don't want to
Um,
be Transformers.
Tom, yeah, Tom Waits going out west. I will ever think of that scene when they go into the bar and Fight Club. So
Yes.
that one right there. Think by Aretha Franklin in the Blues Brothers. Like if I hear
Yeah.
that song, I immediately start doing the dance behind her. And then My Condition by Kenny Rogers in The Big Lebowski. All of
Mhm.
those were ones that like I can't hear those songs without thinking of those movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
All good ones. All good
Yes.
ones.
All perfect needle drops. And then I guess the touch in that Marky Mark porn movie is a needle drop, because it's even
Yes.
if it was made for Transformers, it becomes a needle drop when they take it outside of the context of
Yeah.
that. All right. So, Dash,
Oh,
what's your perfect needle drop, or what? And there's one in the comments, but I'm not sharing the comments because that's my pick, so I will hold.
Well, I know it was made for the movie, but Don't You Forget About Me was one of mine. But
yeah.
one that I know the song has been out forever, but it's Big Daddy. And in the middle of, he's trying to woo a girl, and he puts Babe on by
Mhm.
Styx. And I will forever remember that for that movie. Babe's been around forever, but it just kind of brought Babe back to me because I hadn't heard it in forever.
Yeah.
And he drops the Styx song, and I'm just like, that is fantastic. So yeah, it's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
And I mean, it ultimately caused Styx to break up because that wasn't their style of song, but
Yeah.
it's their biggest number one hit of all time.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah,
All right.
Babe by Styx is fantastic. I just love that.
So yes, my wife took my pick as well, but that is Fight Club as well. Where Is My Mind by the Pixies, where that was a song that I knew before the movie, where it wasn't going
Right.
in and, oh, that's the first time I heard it. And I just, now I hear that song and I think about all the buildings blowing up.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Pixies one is there. And I think about Cameron Crowe, because someone said something from Almost Famous, and Cameron Crowe is a king of the needle drop as well. And I
Mhm.
love when Vanilla Sky is opening and it's got Everything in Its Right Place playing. It's just like, ooh, that's just the perfect kind of song for someone waking up in a weird headspace and just kind of feeling scrambled, because that's how I felt when I played that album. As a Radiohead fan coming from OK Computer, which I would argue is like a top 5 album of all time, and then they move into something completely different. But yeah, that needle drop I thought was a perfect one. And I think that might have been when we were watching the movie. My wife hadn't heard the song before. She's like, "Oh, what's this?" She knew Radiohead, but I don't think she knew the Kid A album, because if I was reaching for Radiohead, I wasn't grabbing Kid A as much. It would be at that time the Bins and OK Computer. So, but that's a whole different show. If we could talk about, we rank the Radiohead albums, but I don't know if most people would be like, I don't listen to them, they're too pretentious or whatever. But yeah, I love them. So, any other needle drops before we move into
I got
promotion?
one more. If you
Okay,
guys
here we go. We got Deadpool, Wolverine, Bye Bye Bye. So
That's a good
solid. Yeah.
Supernatural. If you've ever watched Supernatural, they have great soundtrack. But the famous final scene by Bob Seger will always be Supernatural to me, because it was one of the times Dean was going to sacrifice himself, of the many times that he was sacrificed.
One of the many.
Yeah, but I love the famous final scene. That's a great song by Bob Seger, but it will always be Supernatural to me.
Yeah. Yeah, what was I mean, you think about Sopranos when you're talking about that, and wherever you stand on the ending, that Don't Stop Believing is definitely, you think of that song, and I think about Fading to Black.
Sure.
So there's one that, yeah, it's connected with that, where that song, I mean, gosh, it was so already overplayed by the time it was in the Sopranos. So you had plenty of different connections with it. I'm sure just me hearing it on the radio as a kid, But then now I think about it, and I think about The Sopranos and that diner and just everything that's moving toward that fade to black. So I think there's another one that particular needle drop is now kind of there in my mind.
See, when I hear that song, I just want onion rings, you know. What about Guardians of the Galaxy Redbone would come and get your
Redbone,
love
yeah.
at the beginning of the movie? At the beginning of the movie, like that made me remember that song. I hadn't heard it in years, and made me fall in love with that song. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a good tune.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy was really successful in kind of bringing songs that you didn't think about for a while back into your music, and you're thinking, wow, I forgot that's a good song. So Guardians of the Galaxy kind of with grandpa rock, I would almost rate it, but they definitely did that. And now a lot of movies are trying to do that. Guardians of the Galaxy
Pulp Fiction
style.
did that too.
Pulp Fiction, King of the Needle Drop with Quentin Tarantino.
Why you always got to make fun? I love yacht rock, and now you're calling it grandpa rock.
Who would be listening to
kill me every time?
Because I mean, if the Foo Fighters are dad rock, then that must make that grandpa rock, because it came out before things like Foo Fighters and Wilco. They get lumped into being called dad rock, and now if they're dad rock, then that has to make that grandpa rock.
So, it would.
I'm just talking about, we're just doing year counts here.
You just like to crush my soul every show.
Sorry, you and April with your you listen to the music of a 60-year-old. It's not my fault you listen to that shit.
I mean, my
Dash,
Spotify... Go ahead.
Dash, if we're at the same convention, I'm buying you a beer, dude. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's awesome. I appreciate it.
Deal. Yeah.
Somebody saved me from Smallville,
that's
and then Come and Get Your Love from Guardians. Yeah, that was. I mean, the Guardians were so good with those needle drops. Like I said, I'm not even insulting grandpa rock, but if you're gonna call things like the Foo Fighters dad rock, because that's what I grew up with. So yeah, my kids would call that dad rock, even though now they're going on and buying their dad rock shirts from Target.
Right.
You know, it's what's hot now. But yeah, when they start talking about dad rock being things I love, but like I said, it has to make it grandpa rock. And that would mean if you're talking about like stuff from the 50s and 60s, that becomes great grandpa rock. So
yeah, the oldies stations are not playing the doo-wop stuff from the 50s and 60s anymore, you know.
No. It's 70s and 80s, even into the 90s. Like I've heard Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins. I'm like, that can't be being played on this. Fuck. I have not gotten that old. It's not possible. And then you realize, yep,
it's like Nirvana. It's like Nirvana with the kids wearing the Nirvana shirts, and then you're wearing your Nirvana shirt, and they're like, why can't they get their own clothing brand? You know, the kids.
They don't even know what Nirvana is.
They don't know what Nirvana is. You know, I was there, man. I was in the muck, Lollapalooza '92, Soundgarden.
I lived
Pearl
it. It was
Jam,
real.
you know, all of that. Yeah, you know.
But now they think it's cool when I tell them all these bands they're wearing the shirts that, oh yeah, I went and saw them playing at this or that one, and they're like, whoa, you saw the, Soundgarden, or you saw Stone Temple Pilots, and the ones where the singers are gone, where they can't keep playing. Nirvana, unfortunately, I never did get to see, but yeah, it's one of those things where they get it. They like that. The high schoolers, I would say, the elementary school kids who come in wearing their cool band shirts have no idea who these bands are. Like one of my girls came in with a Ramones shirt. I'm like, oh, Ramones, that's so cool. You like them? She's like, who are Ramones? I'm like, you're wearing the shirt. It's like, oh, my mom just bought it for me. So mom probably liked the Ramones.
Mom liked the Ramones.
And threw the shirt on her.
Well, you know, the old Ramones statement, I sold more shirts than albums.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then CBGB, most people don't know any of the kind of history of CBGB. And they are like, oh, it's just punk rock. I'm like, kind of. But you have Talking Heads and Television and Blondie, bands that were new wave and math rock and all kinds of different things. But they just think CBGB's is a home of the mosh pit. It's like, not really. But again, they wear their cool CBGB shirt and they bought it from Target or Walmart or wherever. And I just laugh because I don't even ask anymore. Like, okay, she's wearing a Misfit shirt. I doubt she knows what it is. It's her mom, the skeleton shirt her mom bought for her.
Right.
Cramps, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. That yellow guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. I lived that. That's what you want to tell them when they're coming in their cool band shirts. But they're like, lived what? I don't even know. My mom bought this for me. So yes, we can't we don't get that instant street cred when we think, yeah, I was there. I was there at the pit for this band. And they're like, that's a band? I just thought it was a shirt. So yes.
I was at a con once and a kid had an Atari shirt, and I was like, "Oh, Atari, cool. What's your favorite Atari game?" And he's like sitting there, and he's like, "Tetris," and runs away.
It's like,
He
don't
ran away on
confront me, old man.
Why? I mean, I would at least come up with something better, but no, that's funny.
I'm like, I'm just trying to connect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like name 3 Atari games. You know, like no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't I won't do that. That's I have to stop. But yeah, I always grew. Foo Fighters, I think they were dad rock the moment they were conceived, if you're gonna ask me. Radiohead, yeah, they're too experimental because they won't really fall into one category. And I'm also biased because Radiohead is my number one band.
Yeah,
So
Radiohead's a
I
good band.
love Radiohead. I mean, I'll say they have albums that aren't as good as others, but I don't hate any one of their albums entirely. And each one is a different listening experience. So yeah, I'm with you on that. And then moms and grandpas are buying the shirts for the kids. And yeah, I mean, our kids had a Beatles shirt, a Tool onesie. I mean, they had all that stuff because yeah, I had a Tool onesie for my daughters, and yeah, they had the cool stuff. I think they had a Sonic Youth onesie. So yeah, I was the one buying the cool onesies for the kids. If I go to the concert and I see at the merch table they have a onesie, I'm like, hell yes, I'm buying this for my daughter. So yeah, they had the cool onesies that were bought by the person listening. I guess the dad rock one, that would be me, but
Jason,
oh, yes.
definitely not E.T. Definitely
not
not
E.T. E.T. jumped in the desert. But yeah, you're right, Jason. We should do. Favorite video game next week. Tune in. We will be talking favorite video games with our guests. So Jason, thank you for that. That's a good pointer, and it doesn't have to be Atari 2600, just any game, because if I have someone younger on the show, they're gonna be like, Atari 2600, I didn't own that. You know, their first console might have been Genesis or Nintendo, not like us old school people who know that Pac-Man isn't square but played a square Pac-Man anyway. So yeah, that is a good category, and like I said, we will definitely use that one next week. So we have made it through our categories. If you have any things that we missed, you want to drop it in the comments. We are happy to hear from you. But now we're going to talk about some campaigns. So drop your campaign links into the private chat, please, and we will start talking about those.
While they're talking about theirs, I'll just do mine real quick.
Go ahead.
The pictures. I just want to promote the one that we're doing. Ed, myself, Lori Calcaterra, Chris Brown, and George Medina. We're working on a collection of short stories we call Fade to Black. And in fact, I kind of got the idea because of Sopranos, where the song's playing and it fades to black. So we're going to be working on that. So be looking for that in the near future. I just wanted to give us a shout out. We're going to have some meetings on it, but it's taken from song titles. So the actual title of the short story is from a song title, but it can't have anything to do with the lyrics. Mm-hmm. So you like I know we have one that's from Chris that is it's Where Did You Come From? Where Did You Go? The Cotton Eye Joe song. But it has it's a set in a totally different scenario. Lori's got a really good one from, I believe it is from Radiohead, and it's about I can't remember what the title was, but it's about an action figure collector that all the toys got spread around, and now it's kind of like a Small Soldiers type of story. So we're working on that. So be looking for that. I'll be promoting it for the next few months till we get it all squared away. But thank you for letting me share that one out there.
Awesome. Yeah. Now I'll be talking more about it, of course, once we get there. So Bigfoot Knows Karate. Let's see. Let me get that.
You're working on that with Lori Calcaterra and George Medina, you said?
Yeah, I'm getting them out of their comfort zone of writing comics into writing some actual short story prose.
It's awesome.
Yes, and
So-
and I'll be there
Yeah,
in that one
he's-
as well.
So,
I only picked one song, so I need to figure out my second song.
you gotta
I'll
figure-
find it. I'll oh, you know what? I can grab anything from like Jolie Led because their whole post-apocalyptic vibe of an album, and I could even put lyrics and no one will know them, but that's okay.
I'll give you a hint of one
Besides
of my-
Dash, who I drag into my indie tunnel. Although the Peter, we talk music all the time because Peter's local for the LA area, so I see him at lots of different cons, and we'll always talk music. And I will always. It seems like every con I slip out early one day so I can go catch a concert. So
Hey, I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint of one of mine. It is Copperhead Road, Steve Earle, but it is set in a Tombstone or not Tombstone, Yellowstone style theatrics, but it's a murder thriller, and you got to figure it. So the whole key of it is it fades to black, and it leaves the readers to figure out what happens when it fades to black. So you don't know it's up to the reader to interpret it, kind of like we're interpreting the lyrics. The reader has to interpret it to fade to black. So.
Yeah, and thank you, Jason. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. And like I said, next week we will be talking video games. So if you tune in, we will take your subject and discuss it. So we have Bigfoot Knows Karate. I'm going to move you up one spot so you can tell us all about this. And I'm going to get rid of this banner so we can see it. And yeah, let's check it out. Tell us about Bigfoot Knows Karate.
Yeah, so this is actually so Bigfoot Knows Karate is the tale of a gentle yet deadly cryptid warrior. In our main series, he's being hunted down by a nefarious cabal and forced to do battle with crazy creatures such as Kung Fu Thulu, Chupacabra with a shotgun. Just there's Mothman, Minotaurs, creatures, kaiju, all that. And this story that we're doing here, though, this is Bigfoot Knows Karate God Killer. This is a one-shot indie comic. And Bigfoot is being accused of the murder of Odin. Okay. And so heads will roll, as I've been saying on this. This story was written by Casey Allen. I helped out a little bit, but this is Casey's baby, and he did an amazing job with it. Casey is an incredible writer. We've been writing partners on Bigfoot Knows Karate since the beginning, basically. And it's incredible. Bigfoot Knows Karate's picked up a good little audience, and we're having a good time with it. God Killer is being drawn by Justin Adcock, and I'm coloring the pages, and we're just having a really damn good time doing this, getting to play with that Norse mythology, and really bringing high octane, but with a more kind of a Mignola feel in Justin's work. It's really beautiful stuff. And having a lot of fun with it. We got some great tiers. Our early bird finished last night. We were fortunate because we funded our $3,000 in 3 hours.
Nice.
So that was pretty rad. And so now we've got our regular edition books, the deluxe edition right there. And I'll tell you about the deluxe edition real quick. It's our regular comic with also you get we've received over 300 plus pieces of fan art for the series.
Wow.
So we put an art gallery in the back of all of our deluxe editions as a thank you to the folks who have taken the time to do that. And then we also have a director's commentary video link. So if you click on the QR code in the back, it takes you to our director's commentary, like on a DVD, where we talk about the book page by page, go through it, and have a big conversation about what it is we're doing and why we did it. We also in this series, you can get the whole catch-up campaign. You can catch up on all the regular editions or all the deluxe editions. We did our first metal cover on this campaign. It really went well on the early bird, and so it's exciting. And then if you're new to Homebrewed Comics, this is our catch-up. This is our number ones, where you can pick up all the number ones for all of Homebrewed Comics, including Crit, which has a campaign going right now. So check that out. Constantly Running into Trouble. Whole Latte Trouble is the name of the issue. It's a very cool book by Chris Saloff. Sorry, I had to plug that real quick. And but yeah, we've got stuff for all price points, from $5 digitals all the way to $450 championship belts that are signed. So if you're into action adventure, psychological thriller, Godzilla versus Kong meets Kill Bill with a twist of Stranger Things, that type of vibe, Bigfoot Knows Karate is your book.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. Like I said, the title alone is just brilliant, and I'm glad that it's still going. And is this, for this particular one, is this connected to the rest of the series, or can you read it separately and still have understanding?
You can definitely read it separately and enjoy the monster of the week type story. You know what I mean? Like there's you have that, but if you read the regular series, then it's going to make that much more sense.
Got
The
it.
same thing we did with our prequel book, Inagon. Inagon took place in feudal Japan hundreds of years before the main storyline, but there was a twist at the end for the readers who read the regular series. If you
Mhm.
didn't read the regular series, you went, "Oh, that's cool." You know what I'm saying? So we were able to do
Yeah.
some cool stuff with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have the Kickstarter link there. And then when the show is over, on my Facebook wall, I'll link to the YouTube video for this show, as well as all your campaign links. So people, if they watch it later, can still grab that Kickstarter from you. So definitely
Fantastic.
check
Thank
that
you.
one out. It's funded, so you're going to get your book. And how far is it in the completion of the book?
We're well over 20 pages. It's a 24-page book. There's 20
Okay.
pages drawn. I'm on page 15 of coloring it right now.
Okay.
It'll be done. Yeah, we're not
Nice.
worried about that.
Perfect. Yeah. So
No,
you don't
we've
need to worry
never
about that.
listen. This is our fifth campaign. We've never not fulfilled on time.
Yeah, and
So,
you can see
we
that.
are-
You
yeah.
see that they have backed plenty of campaigns. They have run plenty of campaigns, and if they were messing up, we would know it because
There you
people
go.
would call them out. So
I know you can't see it, but there you go. It'll be under my original, my real first name. So I did the all the signed editions.
all
Oh,
right.
thank you, Dash.
So,
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
man.
like I said, I'll be heading in afterward because no one needs to see even the last 4 digits of my credit card.
No, you're good. I appreciate the support, guys. Casey does
of
too,
course.
Justin as well. We're really excited about this series. It's been a lot of fun. We have our next Kickstarter in October for Chapter 4,
Mhm.
and then we'll be in 05 and 27. We'll be doing Chapter 5 and the Chupacabra with a shotgun one shot. So
Nice.
look
Lot
out
of
for that
fun.
stuff as well.
Sounds good. All right. So
Awesome.
Peter, let me pull yours up now. Let me see. This, if you haven't tuned in, is always known as the squinty portion of the show, because this is where I gotta
Right.
squint to see what the heck I'm doing, because my eyesight forever will be crap. All right. All right, Peter, tell us about your campaign.
Yeah, so I started this project like many years ago and doing different artists and like waiting for people's schedules and stuff. And, I've written like 10 novels and this was going to be a graphic novel, but I kind of wanted to kind of try something different. So I went the route of a light novel. So it's about 175 pages and there's about 24 illustrations. And I just decided to use a bunch of different artists because I kind of wanted just different takes. And like nowadays with like AI, everyone just has a bunch of slop. And I just want to show like the different, quality of work you can get from different people and just, with the same material, looking at it from different lenses. And so,
Yeah.
it's expensive hiring artists, but I just, it's just been a passion project that is kind of inspired by my friend worked on Over the Garden Wall, and there's that band in that show, Tiny Star, and it's kind of like a synth band. So I was listening to that a whole lot, and I was just really inspired. And I came up with this, original story, and I was like, all right, right there, I made a soundtrack that you could listen along with the whole thing. So it's like, 4 or 5 hours or whatever of music, where I kind of tried to, make it so when you're reading, it ebbs and flows to what part of the story. And that I spent way too much time doing that. But
I love that idea, though. I might be stealing that. Just put the
absolutely.
soundtrack together. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, when I always write, I always listen to music. A lot of times it's stuff that doesn't have lyrics, and this was like kind of like a French inspired, like stuff like the City of Lost Children and like Delicatessen, like those old like 90s French movies, and
Mhm.
so there's a lot of French songs in the soundtrack, and stuff. It was the songs I was listening to while I was writing it, so it kind of
Nice.
blends perfectly. And so I just made this Kickstarter easy. It's like digital and physical, and then
Nice.
I've done a bunch of other stuff. So I just had bundles like, oh, you want the 10 books I wrote on digital? We have that.
Nice.
I'm in a crappy novelty band like 20 years ago. I was like, you want these? We have like 100 songs. Sure. I put that on the so
Nice.
it's kind of like, I got ADHD, so I'm always doing something, Yeah, so there's a bunch of
Santa Bottom.
yes. It's like Santa
Oh.
Baby, but a little bit.
I figured it out. I love it though. When we hit December and we talk about Christmas music, we got to find that one.
Yes. And
We have
so-
a whole Christmas music theme show, so yes. we need it.
absolutely. We're gonna do some more Christmas songs. We did some last year just for the fun of it, and then
Mhm.
of course Spotify took forever to launch it, so we missed the opportunity. But
As they do.
yeah. So it's just I always have ideas, so I'm always doing something. It's my therapy. So it's like it's a little hard because you're like, oh, I'm doing comics, and then you build comic fans, and you're like, oh, I'm writing lit RPG, then you get those, then you're like, I'm gonna do light novels. So every time you're reinventing yourself because people like certain genres, and
Mhm.
especially when it's a niche sort of genre, they don't really want to go from horror to comedy that much, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Right.
so yeah, I just launched, and here we are.
Yeah. Launched, funded. I saw that, so that's great. And I
Yeah.
will grab it after.
I grabbed the book. I grabbed the physical copy.
Awesome, thank you.
You're very
Yeah,
welcome.
Yeah, I'll check out
I'm
your
looking
guys'.
it over right now, actually, trying to figure out what I'm going to get.
yeah. So
I always support indie authors. So
yeah,
Yeah,
so I guess
Yeah.
the
when I
links.
I'm always like trading with people, and that's all. That's
Oh, yeah.
most of the stuff I consume is from indie people we've met, and it's great because you could talk to them about it, and you have this actual connection.
Yes. All right. So the campaign links are both in the chat. They'll also be on my Facebook, and I will put them on the YouTube video itself. So that way you can get a hyperlink you can click on with no difficulty. And yeah, definitely check these two out. I'll be doing the same because, as I always say, I will always put my money where my mouth is. I wouldn't tell you to do something if I won't do it myself. So back these books, and then yeah, like Dash said, I'll be part of his Fade to Black series. Thinking of my second song, but my first song is Burning and Looting by Bob Marley, and it will be an Immortal Era story that I've actually scripted as a comic, so I have to adapt it into short story form because it is scripted, and it's the origin of one of the characters that everyone tells me they want me to write, and I had never figured out where it fit into the actual Immortal Era universe, and the answer is it fits as a short story, and then I'll reprint it in the trade later on once the time comes for volume 3. But we're barely at volume 2, which will be launching in June. So hopefully next week I will have the pre-launch page up. Well, actually in 2 weeks, because I'll be at Anacon next week. So yeah, definitely check them out. And Peter, are you going to be at Anacon?
No, I'm doing Comic-Con Revolution and then Denver. So those this month.
Yeah, Revolution's the same weekend. So yeah, I'm doing the one that's free and hoping for the best. So yeah, you have to let me know how Revolution goes.
I get to do
Revolution's mixed for me. It's like sometimes it's either good or bad. So
yeah, all cons lately have been leaning more toward the bad. So hopefully we see some good ones. All right.
I get to do my first con in 2 weeks. It's ToyCon, but I'm selling my books there. So
yeah.
My very first. I'm scared and nervous.
be ready to see a sea of Funko Pops, because that seems to be what you'll be looking at. Is
well, this is a vintage. This is vintage. So
okay, that's cool. So don't spend all the money you make on vintage toys.
Well,
that's all
I will.
It's like, yes, I made enough to buy that thing, and next thing you know, you're gonna walk home. Your wife's gonna be like, "So how'd you do?" You're gonna have a handful of toys like this good.
Yeah, that's good.
I wasn't able to buy my Grail piece, but I got 3 smaller ones. So Dan, do you have any shows coming up?
Next weekend, I'll be at Paper Dragon in Austin at Highball. So I'm going to be
Okay.
doing that. I've got, I'll be at Terrificon and Casa and I got a few things going on, but not much in June, actually. I'm kind of taking it easy.
Okay.
Taking it easy in June, enjoying my birthday and just
Nice.
fulfilling, things like
Yeah.
that, getting books fulfilled and shit like that. So,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
know.
but check out homebrewedcomics.com, our website. You can find all of everybody's appearances there. So, and also
Yeah.
links to Bigfoot Knows Karate campaign as well as the Crit campaigns.
Yeah. So check out the website, and then where can we find you on social media?
You can find me right here by my name, Danomite139. You can find me at TikTok and Instagram. I am on both of those places. And if you're on what's up, Houston, Texas, Dave, by the way, go Astros. You can also find me on Facebook. There's a Bigfoot Knows Karate Facebook group on there too. So
Nice.
yeah.
So check it out.
ToyCon is in Norman, Oklahoma.
Very cool.
Are you in Oklahoma, Dash?
I am up in.
Were you at that show at Choctaw not long ago, Texoma?
I was. Yeah, I went down there and saw Lori and George.
I wish I got to meet you. I was set up there. So
I think see. Yeah, you look familiar, and I think I saw where you were at. So
yeah, I had like a corner booth
yeah.
with all the Bigfoot regalia up there. Yeah, see
Nice.
George and Lori. Like George, I've known for years, and I've just gotten to know Lori in the last year or so. Both amazing folks.
Yes. So yeah, I did
Yeah.
see you. I wish I'd known you then. I would
Yeah.
have definitely hung
All
out.
good.
Now you got to
We'll
do
do
the
that
next.
now.
Now you got to go to the next one, Dash.
Yep. Yeah, well, I'm going down
Absolutely.
there. Yeah, I've already
Nice.
talked to them to see if I can get a booth down there next year.
Cool.
Perfect. Yeah, they just announced their booth tables. They just announced those. That's perfect.
All right. So Peter, where can we find you?
I think now I'm only on like Instagram and Blue Sky. If you look under P.A. Wyckoff, when I first started writing novels, I was like, oh, that's going to sound really writery, But now people come up to me like, hey, P.A. I'm like, that doesn't feel right.
I wasn't wanting that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so it's I think it's P.A.Wyckoff, Wykoff. So,
Yeah.
but like I'm still kind of on like Twitter, but I don't log in. So people might send me messages. I'm not going to see it. I quit Facebook. That's the whole story. But soon I don't think I'm going to be on any social media. So, but
say goodbye to all of them.
Just sign up my mailing list, I guess.
Yeah. So sign up for the mailing list. All right. So he said his niece goes to Oklahoma University. Very cool.
Very nice.
And then Dash, where can we find you?
Mostly Facebook and Instagram, Substack every once in a while when I decide I want to talk about something important. But I do have Substack all under Dash. And then just find me with Ed on Wednesday nights talking music, and then on Sundays, Dash of Reading, where we discuss books and creative stuff. And there's not enough book shows out there, so we try to bring books to the. We'll be reading Wild Robot next month and trying to help with children's literacy and discussing children's books and things like that. So that's one of the ones we're discussing.
That's a fun one. Month. And if you need someone to come talk any children's books with you, Wild Robot is one that I've done as a read aloud in my class multiple times. I've done it about the last 3 years. We do it as a read aloud. We were reading some Roald Dahl stuff. I try to give a fun variety of stuff, and even my students who generally think everything about school is terrible tell me that the only good part of the day is when you do your read aloud. So
yeah,
I'm always reading books to kids.
So join us on the 31st. Join us to talk about it. Then it'll be Amber and Dana and I, and just jump in, and I'll send you the link on that day.
Sounds good.
It's a Sunday, so
yeah. And then Dash and I, we won't be here this Wednesday. I will not be here next Saturday because I'll be at Anacon, which is at the Anaheim Library. Free to come in and just drop in and say hi if you happen to be in the area. And there's lots of great exhibitors there selling their books. There's lots of free giveaways. There's food trucks. So it's a fun time and it's free. So that makes it even better. You don't have to worry about paying admission to go to a mediocre show. Walk in free and see something fun. Or if you are in the Ontario area, go see Peter over there. And next week, Dash and I will be talking about Hum, Downward is Heavenward. So that's the next album we'll be covering, but that will be in 2 weeks because where we're at right now, no Wednesday, no Saturday, and then we'll be back Wednesday and Saturday the following week, knowing one of our topics will be best video game. And beyond that, I don't know. I am not lying when I say I think I'm up in the middle of the week. Most of the time it's like Wednesday, I finish the music show. I'm like, shit, I still haven't figured out what we're talking about on the other show. About time to get that handled. So until then, have a great rest of your weekend and check out these campaigns.
All right. Thank you so
Nice
much.
to meet you guys. Nice to meet you.
So
Dan.
much. Nice meeting you
Peter.
guys.
Yeah.
Hey heroes, cosplayers, and pop culture fans, are you ready to assemble for the ultimate geek weekend? The Hall of Heroes Comic-Con is invading Elkhart, Indiana with 2 explosive days of comics, stars, and non-stop fun. Join us Saturday, May 30th and Sunday, May 31st, 2026 at the Northern Indiana Event Center in Elkhart. Doors open at 10 a.m. both days. VIP early entry at 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. We're rolling out a massive lineup of legends. Meet Eric Estrada from Chips and Fallout, Dirk Benedict from the A-Team and Battlestar Galactica, Tara Reid from American Pie and Sharknado, Catherine Cavadini, voice of Blossom from the Powerpuff Girls, Kel Mitchell from All That, Keenan and Kel and Mystery Men, horror icon Tony Moran, the original Michael Myers in Halloween, and more. Plus, top comic artists including Arthur Sidem, Marvel Zombies and Deadpool, John Kramer from Batman and Wonder Woman, Keith Pollard, a legendary Marvel artist on Spider-Man and Thor, and more. Scott Rosama, Stuart Sager, and others. Get autographs, photo ops, and chats with the stars and creators who shaped your favorites. The floor is packed with over 150 vendors, artists, and cosplayers offering exclusive comics, collectibles, original art, and merch. Enjoy cosplay contests for kids and adults with great prizes, live Q&A panels, artist showcases, interactive zones, and family-friendly fun all weekend. And the excitement goes live. Madness Entertainment Group is broadcasting straight from the con floor all weekend on YouTube, Build, and Rumble. Catch every moment as it happens, then relive it anytime with the full shows available later on Med TV on Roku. Grab your tickets today at hohcomiccon.org. Hall of Heroes Comic-Con, May 30th and 31st, 2026. Northern Indiana Event Center, Elkhart, Indiana. We'll see you there, heroes. This ad was created by Ned on behalf of Madness Entertainment Group and Hall of Heroes Comic-Con.
Very good.